We'll see who gets the luck here. Semmelman waiting on the inside in the 81. Wilson on the outside in the 80. Pace truck is off, and away we go. Off and away for today's 74 laps for the Sim Race for Hope 74. Simmelman on the inside, off to a decent start in this one. Wilson side by side, but look at Justin Norwood as he sends it 3 wide. Can't make it stick quite yet, but look at Wilson. Has to file on back on the high side, back to second.
So much for taking it easy on the first lap, as here comes Norwood. They are 3 wide for the lead down the back straightaway. Simmelman's got it. Norwood's going to be in second now. Wilson battles back. Zach Rounds, Blake Cannon right behind them. Racetrack is excellent early in this one with Simmelman leading the way.
Simmelman able to hold on, but barely right now. Look at Wilson, huge charge to the high side. Up the track, down the back stretch they go. As he can't make it stick, this is going to open up the door for Zach Rounds, who tries to go for a slide. Can't make so. Justin Norwood had to back off, but we have a new challenger up here at the front. Blake Cannon now going for P4 after that.
How about that? Cannon's going to go up to 4th. Meanwhile, down the back straightaway, did Dylan Wilson put enough gear in to run the top side in this one? He told us after his preliminary feature he didn't have enough gear to run the top and middle. Right now, he's going to carry momentum. It's Simmelman out front, but here comes Dylan Wilson with a head of steam right through the middle of the racetrack. He'll let it drift to the cushion off turn 2.
Up the cushion he goes, up towards the shelf on the back stretch, able to get a little bit more game time compared to the last time trying to do so. Just can't get the pass done quite yet. Wilson and Simmelman near side by side up at the front. Meanwhile, John Fiddler able to move to P number 5, but look again, Wilson cushion he goes. That's going to open up the door for Rounds. So that move did not work again, as he's still trying to force himself on the high side. Just can't get to the bottom quite yet.
If Wilson can get a good run off the top of 2, he'll get to the lead. But you see right there the car drifts, and that's where Simmelman's able to pull away.
Caution.
And caution on the speedway. How about that? Good first few laps in this one, Justin.
Good first few laps. It was on the front stretch, I believe. Drew Hirschko here, coming towards lap 15 for the restart. Wilson again on the bottom. Simmelman on the outside. Very strong competitors. We'll see what happens here this time. Wilson's off and away. Pace truck is off as they come down the front stretch. Wilson able to get a decent jump. Zach Rounds having to deal with the outside with John Fiddler as he's able to ride the wall, in fact, for a split second to hold on to P number 3. Great start for the top 3 there. But Blake Cannon, after that incident at the start, struggling to hold on to spots. They're bumping and banging on turn number 4.
Yeah, a lot of guys getting together back in the pack as we saw car number 4 get sideways back there, Norwood, and luckily able to keep going. Meanwhile, out front, Wilson now going to head to the bottom of Speedway through turns 3 and 4, and he's got Simmelman right there behind him. Seems like a lot of the guys using that low line moisture, but if they all stay down there, that part of the racetrack is going to burn up, and that's when it's going to really come to life, when that bottom equalizes. And just like that, Wilson is determined to get a good run off too, and how about that, Justin? He finally gets it done and stretches out his advantage.
Talk about good run. Look at Zach Rounds. He's going for P number 2 on Simmelman now. Very close to the tire wall inside. Still side by side, trying to get closer towards the moisture. Can't get the job done there. Almost got it done down the D-shaped backstretch as you follow along with them right down the bottom, right near the wall, trying to use as much of that moisture as he can. Very close again from hitting the left rear again of Simmelman.
Well, it's interesting because Simmelman was on the very bottom when he was battling Wilson, and now we've seen Wilson make that middle to top side where he's moved up, and that's opened the door for Zach Rounds. Fiddler back in 4th. Nick Cooper rounds out your top 5 as we approach lap number 20 here in the race for Hope 74. $1,000 on the line here tonight.
Big time prize money, more than $5,000 in total is the prize pool for tonight's event here for the Sim Race for Hope 74. You're following along once again now for the battle for 3rd spot as John Fiddler almost got underneath, couldn't do anything there. As Nick Cooper's just going to watch in the wings. You're watching on board now with Fiddler on the bottom, very close to the wall. Again, getting that moisture as much as he can. And just again, trying to maybe get away from potential passes from Cooper just behind him. But look what's going on. Howard Weaver's up the 5th. Caution flag is out, though, as they're going to slow back down again here, coming to lap 22 to 23. What happened there? It was Dan. Right now, we'll see what happens here. Track really slicking it up, especially from the appearance in 3 and 4. Wilson is off and away out of 4, as Silliman able to keep up a bit this time. Fiddler's trying to make the charge on the high side. Zach Rounds got bumped from behind. Going to have to fight hard to hold on to P4, but look at Howard Weaver on the high side now, trying to make the pass on Rounds, bumping just behind them, but the battle for the lead, Silliman able to get underneath Wilson, just couldn't get the job done quite yet.
Wilson's going to get a much better runoff too that time. That opens the door. Fiddler to the inside of Silliman. Here comes John Fiddler. He started 7th. He's up to 2nd as they work through turns 3 and 4, beating and banging behind him. Look out, Austin Silliman. You've got company.
He's going to have to deal with a lot of drivers there. You got Rounds, you got Weaver behind him. Silliman moves up the track, can't keep as much speed momentum-wise. As that opens up the door for Rounds, Silliman will try and charge up towards the cushion, able to fight back at least for now, but now Dylan Wilson, he's still slowly but surely try and pull on away now. Bumping and banging. Howard Weaver gets bumped away from position. He's going to lose 2, 3, 4, 5 spots after that contact, falling behind Jacob Fields after contact on the left side.
Momentum is everything. When you lose momentum at Volusia, it costs you big time. Right now, most of the field working that low line. Again, as we talked about, if everybody stays down there, you got to think it's going to burn off as we come around to complete lap number 29. But out front, it's your leader's going to be Dylan Wilson, but he's got company. John Fiddler's got a hot rod here tonight, Justin, as he goes after the lead off into 1 and 2.
He's continuing to try closing up time after time. Last time by 17.8. Just a little touch faster in the 17.8s than Dylan Wilson. He gets underneath. Can he go again? He's going to have to time this up right nearby the left rear quarter panel. Silliman trying to get back into this fight as Fiddler goes as low as he can. Wilson goes as high as he can up towards the cushion on the exit. He'll ride it up again towards that cushion. As you can see, the track really starting to come into play in terms of the changing conditions.
It's a 3-car breakaway at the front. Dylan Wilson, John Fiddler, Austin Silliman, your top 3. Then it's going to be Zach Rounds, Trevor Fitz rounding out the top 5. Behind them, Blake Cannon, Nick Cooper, Jacob Fields, Howard Weaver, and Josh Phillips, your top 10. As your top 3 dicing it up. And Dylan Wilson, we saw it in that 30-lap preliminary feature. It looked like at any point he was going to get past. Perhaps, though, just saving that race car, saving those tires, searching around to see what that number 80 handles the best.
Right now, it looks like the way it's handling the best, again, we talked about this, is more higher up, at least in 1 and 2, it seems. More down low for many of the laps, it seems, down for 3 and 4. You see it right now. The pack continues to zoom on by as Wilson moves up towards the high side. Big time field, just one driver off the track. 23 cars are left in this one. Side by side, though, for second.
Great battle for the second spot. That's right. Silliman's had it. Now Fiddler had it. Silliman goes to his outside, and Silliman's got his feet back under him. On that restart, Fiddler was really good on the bottom, but as we go long, green flag run and approach halfway, Silliman's car is coming back in. Dylan Wilson, last time by, 0.7 of a second lead.
And he's going to grow it touch by touch, side by side again. It's 10 slower, in fact, from Silliman last time by, even with the side-by-side at a 3 and 4 with Fiddler, as they continue to work their way more up the track, more and more up the cushion, a little bit by bit. Now following along with Adam Elby, because that is a big-time calamity in terms of battles right now, in terms of trying to get positions. He's right now just behind Josh Phillips, Howard Weaver, and Jacob Fields, along with Nick Cooper and Blake Cannon. Side by side, couple drivers deep. Driver goes really up the cushion, and Howard Weaver, that's going to hurt him momentum-wise and lose a spot to Josh Phillips for now.
Well, we're now halfway home, 37 down, 37 to go, and out front, Dylan Wilson leads the way, Silliman in second, Fiddler in third, Rounds in fourth, but how about Trevor Fitz quietly from 9th up into the 5th spot, and then behind him, Blake Cannon outside of the top 5 looking in position number 6 in car 44.
And look at the attack, though, on Cooper, as he's going to go side by side. Now 3 wide with Fields. Up the middle is Cannon. They go contact a bit. Oh, very close moment there with Cooper, Fields, and Cannon. Cannon takes advantage to move to P6. Able to be benefactor on that one, and what could have been a close call there.
Well, right now, Blake Cannon, part of Heath Lawson Motorsports, he's got a Hornet's Nest behind him. He rides in 6th. They're 2, 3 wide, a little bit of 4 wide behind him. And now a little bit of contact. Look out, Blake Cannon. You got company. And it comes in the form of Jacob Fields in the 007 as they battle through turns 1 and 2. And right behind them, Nick Cooper trying to capitalize.
Cooper on the high side right now. On the inside, you see right now, just trying to get anything as Fields. Underneath Cannon he goes. They make contact. Loses the momentum as you see the big time wheeling from Phillips behind. Trying as strong as he can to the right to try and get any rotation he can. Howard Weaver makes the move right on below him as he'll join now what is going to potentially become again a 4-car battle for the 6th spot as the top 5 continues to pull away now more than 3 seconds ahead.
That's a great battle, but right in front of them now Trevor Fitz going to look to the inside of Zach Rounds. That's the battle for 4 through turn number 3 as they try to close in on John Fiddler out front. Dylan Wilson 0.7 of a second advantage over Austin Simmelman. Then it's Fiddler, Rounds, and Fitz as your top 5 getting a little bit closer, although Dylan Wilson right now the class of the field as we're approaching now 30 laps to go.
You gotta wonder. Again, we talked about this a bit here with him using a lot of the high line in 1 and 2. Gotta wonder he was set up for the cushion maybe for this point again. And you can see again the battles, but right now he's the strongest car on the track. He's got a fast car and able to pull on away whenever he's been able to ride that high side still 1 and 2 up towards the cushion, try and really charge it up for the exit. He's still using the bottom meanwhile to be able to get around.
Well, right now it seems like that car can go anywhere that it wants, and that's bad news for the competition as he gets better and better as this race goes along. And we missed it earlier in the event. I believe Blaze Deckert sponsored $15 of the car that was 12th on lap 15. I just want to say that's a really cool award. I don't know who gets it yet, but that's a really cool award to sponsor somebody back in the pack. These guys are all fighting it out. Let's spread the money throughout the pack. Pretty cool way to go, Blaze Deckert.
Gotta definitely be interesting. Right now, warnings for a bit of rough driving right now. That is in that battle for 6, by the way. Fields and Cannon, very close action. Along now, Cooper side by right now, just behind, pardon me, with Weaver. You see up the track right now is Shane James. You said to watch him. He's back into the top. He's up to the top 10 now.
Yeah, 23rd to 11th.
Hold on 1 second. We got trouble. Car around Josh Phillips. Still bouncing off the walls is Clay Debin, but we stay green. That was big time, very big situation for Phillips. He was in 1-point battling for that 6th spot, and you see the contact, 4 different drivers getting bounced around, but we stay green.
Well, he was in contention, not so much anymore, and that's how quick it can change here. As bad break for that driver. How about this long green flag run? We're really starting to see guys that have got cars that are good for the long haul, and you're starting to see other guys fall by the wayside. But Dylan Wilson, he was the odds-on favorite, and right now he continues to drive away from the field.
Adam Elby, by the way, was the one who earned that $15 for being 12th and 5th, lap 15, so great job for him. Right now, a great job going on for Wilson to get away from this battle for 2nd and going on. Meanwhile, you see the battle still heating up with Trevor Fitz and Zach Rounds. Meanwhile, back behind them, this is currently for about 6th on back, I believe. Now about P7 as one driver has broken away. That's Jacob Fields, able to get away from the Hornet's Nest.
Seems like Blake Cannon's had just a pack of dogs knocking on the back door of this whole race, and right now, no different. That's the best battle on the speedway. Off into turn number 1 and 2. He rides in position number 7, but he's got about 6 guys that are going to go by if he slips up at all. And now Howard Weaver trying to get his feet back under him after that contact from earlier, and you got to think Howard Weaver would love to see a caution here with about 20 to go to have a shot to get back to the front.
Remember, the caution laps don't count at this point. They stop counting if we get a yellow at lap 40, as we might get a very close call. That was the 83 going sideways, and Shane James, that was near 90 degrees. Let's look at just what happened there. That was 3 wide down to 2 wide. It ends up hitting the wall hard.
Well, tough contact back in the pack. Meanwhile, Howard Weaver's going to make a move for the 7th spot to the inside of Blake Cannon, and Weaver right on the hub. He'll slide up a little bit of contact, a lot of bit of contact, and now Weaver will take over the 7th spot. Cannon's going to go back to position number 8. LB back in 9th, Nick Cooper in 10th. Meanwhile, Dylan Wilson on a Sunday drive out front, 1.736 seconds the lead as we approach lap number 60.
Coming now, again, lap 57 right now, as you see Wilson way up the track again, up towards the wall. He's now working his way through traffic, so this becomes a potential factor. Does Wilson end up losing time, or is this point to his benefactor using these lap cars as a pick, do you think?
Well, as good as that car's been, unless a lap car takes him out, I don't think it's going to hurt him at all, as he just mows around lap traffic, now approaching a 2-second lead. And again, as this race goes on, if anything, that 80 is getting better and better. And without a caution or a driver mistake, it's going to be really, really tough for anybody to catch Dylan Wilson, as now he adds another 10th to his lead over Austin Simmelman, 2.069 seconds.
You see him, he's got a big crowd of drivers in front of him. That is right now 21st, 20th on forward that he's got to deal with right now. And now we're going to see now as the traffic's starting to move on through in terms of second, the battle for second we were talking about in Simmelman and Fiddler. This might help Simmelman a little bit, but he's going to have to move up to the cushion with Wisely tapping the wall a bit. Coming to 14 laps to go now, 60 laps down here for the Sim Race for Hope 74.
And the problem is Simmelman's now giving up another 0.3 of a second to Dylan Wilson. As Wilson likes it there on the top, he's able to motor around him. He continues to negotiate lap traffic. Simmelman in second, Fiddler in third, Zach Rounds in fourth, Trevor Fitz in fifth, and it's going to be Jacob Fields, Howard Weaver, Blake Cannon, Adam Elby, and now Nick Cooper, your top 10. As look out, a lap car bounces off the wall right in front of your leader, Eric Fargo, and that had to be a little bit of a scare for your leader, Dylan Wilson, as he exited turn number 2.
Yeah, you can see right now Wilson's now past him, but absolutely scary moment coming towards now 10, 11 laps to go. That was in 1 and 2 after it looks like he pinballed off Fargo, bounced off one of the other drivers in terms of Josh Phillips. That was what he was referring to there. You follow along here, still working his way again through traffic, near 3 wide. Coming to 10 laps to go this time by cuts through the middle, moving by Herchko and Devin. That was now lapped up to P number 20 as he continues to get the luck here. Meanwhile, Simmelman, he's now got John Fiddler, who just had a big bobble. That was near a battle heating up for P number 2 as Fargo stops him dead out in front. Devin's around sideways. Caution comes out.
Wow.
This changes everything.
Well, if you wanted a shot at Dylan Wilson inside with right around 10 laps to go, you're going to get a shot at him as we finally see a caution after about a 45-lap green flag run.
You see the contact there that led to Devin being bounced around like a pinball again. Brings out the caution, 9 to go. Caution laps do not count now. And that started again with the contact with Fargo and right in front of the battle for second. Close call, but again, really going to help guys like Simmelman, Fiddler now to be able to group this up. We follow along with what they saw here in the battle. And that was close there with Fiddler, I think.
Yeah, very close.
They're going to start single file here. They do this if there's a certain amount of cautions. They're going to do this here to try and get as clean of a restart as possible. What will Wilson do? He moves as close as he can to the bottom on the restart to get towards the moisture as Simmelman able to time it up and keep close behind. Fiddler can't keep up at the same moment as Wilson moves up the cushion down alongside the wall, down the back stretch. Able to get a lot of speed here as Simmelman just couldn't keep up on the lower group as Fiddler goes for the attack.
Now Simmelman's got to keep Fiddler behind him as we work in, closing in on 5 laps to go back and forth now with Zach Rounds. Fitz still in the 5th spot. Good battle for second on back through 3 wide as they battle for position number 2.
Still close to 3 wide. That helps Simmelman and that helps Fiddler as Rounds gonna be bumped around a little bit. Able to just hold on to 4th spot as he had contact with Fitz. Contact again with Fitz in that 4th spot. They go back single file. Fiddler again though, down the backstretch. Lots of speed he carries along here. Moving along the front stretch they go as Wilson leads it with 6 to go.
How dominant is Dylan Wilson now? 6 laps remaining. And how about a 777's 0.777, the advantage for Austin Simmelman, chasing $1,000. He's in Volusia, not in Vegas, but he's already rolling up the 777s as laps tick away in the race for Hope 74. And in the 2nd spot, it's Simmelman, but he's got heavy company. Here comes Fiddler.
5 to go now here in the Mark and Arlene Martin Hope for Arkansas Foundation Sim Race for Hope 74 as Simmelman moves up the racetrack side by side with Fiddler. Fiddler goes for the slide, trying to push up the track. Fiddler contact, holds up Rounds behind with a little bit more contact from behind as Fiddler can't get the job done. 4 laps to go as Wilson continues to check on out and Rounds continues to try and fight to hold on to a top 5.
Good battle right now, Simmelman. You're in the second spot. Fiddler trying to find a way around him. Behind him, side by side, as those guys go at it. Rounds and Fitz battling it out. Weaver right behind him as well, as we've got just 3 laps remaining, 3 more times around this half-mile oval at Volusia Speedway Park with Dylan Wilson large and in charge.
Coming down to 2 laps to go. Cars around, caution is out. And that was the battle on your screen we were talking about, involving Weaver, involving Trevor Fitz, and Fitz has his luck run out with 3 to go. After going sideways after the side-by-side contact, he'll move all the way towards the back.
Wow. Well, we're going to have 3 to go, and they're going to have 3 more times around to try to get a shot at Dylan Wilson. Dylan Wilson, again, dominant out front. He leads the way. Simmelman in second. Fiddler in third. Zach Rounds back in fourth. Howard Weaver in fifth. And it's Jacob Fields, Nick Cooper, Shane James, Blake Cannon, and Virgil Graham quietly up into 10th after starting 19th.
You see single file. Remember last time, Wilson went from top to bottom to on the restart with Simmelman. Pace truck is coming off. They're doing the same thing. Wilson's off and away with 3 laps to go as he gets a good start. Simmelman couldn't get the jump he wanted to. Fiddler can't get to where he needs to as Wilson goes up the track. He has a perfect restart down the back as he went up high. Simmelman has to try and hold off Fiddler, meanwhile, coming to 2 laps to go with Zach Rounds behind in the 4th spots.
2 laps to go. It's Wilson out front. Fiddler giving Simmelman all he wants for that runner-up spot. Meanwhile, Zach Rounds comes to life. Weaver's right there as well. They're going to race back as we come back to the white flag one more time around the speedway.
And contact with Rounds just behind, able to keep it straight though with Weaver. White flag is out here for the Sim Race for Hope 74. Can Wilson hang on for a $1,000 payday? He continues to grow the gap. Simmelman will try and hold on for a decent payday himself. But for Dylan Wilson, he's dominated much of the day today. He'll win $1,000 for the Sim Race for Hope 74 at Volusia Speedway Park.